I'm going to explain about in-memory DB with indexing. So, what is meant by data? Generally, in a database, all the data is stored in the SSD, which is actually slower. So, if you store data in RAM, like which is RAM is actually the faster than SSD. So, we are actually storing the data inside the memory, which is RAM. So, it is known as in-memory DB. So, what is indexing? Generally, if you want to retrieve some data based on a column, you can say select all from students where roll number equals to 10. So what does it do internally? It searches all the rows, so it takes big of n. So what we are doing is we are just adding an index to that column. Something like, what we are doing is we are going to use some special data structures, and we are going to insert all the values of that specific column into the data structure. And whenever we search something based on that column, so that data structure will be searched, and searching that data structure will be less than n. That could be log n or root n or anything like that. So we have to use some special data structures whose searching is less than n. Generally we can use something like b-trees, which has searching of log n. We can use something like that. So what are the requirements of this project? First, these are all the requirements. Something like the database creation. The user should create a database, which is in-memory databases, and the user can provide security to the database using a password, and user can create tables, user can create schemas, user can perform all the CRUD operations like insert, delete, update. And this is the main thing, user can add indexes to the columns. So the user can add columns to whatever, user can add indexes to whatever columns he wants. This is the system architecture. Here we have a user data table. Here the user and their respective passwords are stored, and here any user can have any number of databases. So the user and their respective databases are stored here. And here in the table list, in a database can have any number of tables. So a database with any number of tables are stored here, and here the actual data is stored in the table. So here comes the table name, and table name contains a hash map, which has a table has many columns, right? And we are actually storing key column as a key, and that value of that specific cell as a value here. So the actual data will be stored like this.
And I'm studying at the Vishnu Institute of Technology third year. Now, as a part of an low-level design, I have developed an in-memory database with indexing low-level design using Java, and I'm going to demonstrate about the user journeys. Here, mainly we have two kind of users, like a new user and the existing user. The new user should create an account and then the login, whereas the existing user can directly log in and perform the operations. Here, mainly we have four levels. One is the user level, and the database level, and the table level, and the data level. And this is all about the user level. And in the database level, we can create a database and perform the operations on the database. That's all about database level. And whereas in the table level, we can create a table, delete table, and all, and we can perform the operation on the tables. And in the data level, we can enter the data, we can display the data, delete the data, and all kind of operations upon the data. Now I'm going to show the live demonstration on the code. Yeah, this is then a welcome message, like welcome to our database. And here, as a new user, I need to first and create an account. For creating account, we need to select option 1 and give a username and password. Yeah, after giving a successful username and password, the account will be created like this, and it shows a display message like an account has been created. Now this is all about the user level. We have now entered into the database level. In the database level, we have operations to perform on the database, like creating database, deleting database, displaying and selecting an existing database, or exit from the database. This exit from the database option is available in all kind of the levels, where we can use this operation to go back one level. Like here, mainly we have four kind of levels. No, like user level, database level, table level, and the data level. If we want to move one step backward, then we can use this level, then we can use this option to exit. Now I want to exit, I will show you that. Yeah, now this is in the database level. After the exiting, we are going to the user level. That means we are going one step backwards, and this option is used for to move one step backwards. Now already my account has been created, so now I am an exiting user, so I need to select option 2 and give the username and password. Yeah, it shows us a welcome back as we have created the account previously. Now I am going to create a database. Yeah, it asking from the database name. I'm giving an sample database name, and here it is asking the database has been created. It also asks for to create 10 tables in the database. Yeah, I want to create, so I'm going to create the tables. And this is all about the database level, and we are now in the table level. In the table level, we can perform the operation on create table, delete table, display, and select. Now I want to create a table first, and it asks for the table name, and it 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 asks also for to insert the data. Yes, I want to insert the data, so I will select the option 1, and it asks for the option 1, and here we can add a data, delete the data. Now I want to add a data, and asking for the number of columns. Now let's take the number 2, and it asking for each time our column name. That means let's check with 1. It's asking the column name, like wait name, and the column value, and the data has been inserted. That means we are inserting the data in the column level, like by column we are inserting the data. Now the first column has been entered. Now it's asking for the second column, as we have given the column size 2. Now in the second level, I'm yeah, here we have entered the 2 column data. One is the name and there's a roll number. If you want to see it, we can also use the option like display table. Yeah, we can see that the role and the name that the data have entered here is showing. And we can also use the delete the column option, like to delete. It's asking for the column name to delete. I want to delete the name column. The name column has been removed. If you want to see it, we can display simply. And after displaying, now we can see that only roll column has been showing. Previously it's showing the name and column. As I have deleted, the name column has been removed and only the roll number column has been remaining. And this is the data level. And we can also use the update column same as like. And if we want to exit, means we want to, now we are in data level. If we want to go in the table level, we can use the exit option. Yeah, here we can see that we are now in the table level, and we can see the display tables. Here we can see that the student table has been there. That means the existing student table has been shown here. And if we want to delete the table, we can simply delete by entering the table name, and we want to select. And if we want to go back one step backward, we can use exit. And now we are in the database level. That means second level. We are previously in the table level. Now we have come to the database level, and here we can see all the databases. Like this is a database I have created, and if you want to go again into the existing database, we can select the database number 4. That is option number 4. Now you can want to enter the index of the database. Yeah, we have simply entered the index, and we can also again now create another table, like another table name, like marks. And here want to delete enter the data in marks. Yeah, and we can enter the data, and in the as the marks has been only 1, I will take the column number 2, and like subject, and the column value as grade, and it has been successfully created. And then the another, and also subject s, and also taking another sample like subject 2 as a value as o. And we have created another table, and in the table we have created another 2 columns. And if we want to see it, we can simply display like subject o and subject s, this. And now we have kind of 2 tables now. If you want to see it, we can go simply back and display all the tables. Yeah, here we can see that previously I have created a student table and now the newly I have created a marks table. This is the kind of the indexing we have giving, like for the student 1 and the marks 2. These are the indexing feature that we have used to assign the each one. And this is all about the database we have created. Thank you.
Surya Prakash, and now I am going to explain you about the coded part of in-memory database system. This in-memory database system, we have used these following files for different functionalities of their hierarchy level. So in our database system, if we consider, there are mainly three hierarchies: user level, database level, and the table level. And inside the table level, there exists of adding values into that particular table. So for that particular reasons, we have made these Java files for accessing or performing operations in that particular hierarchy. Now let us go initially into the user data.java file. So in this user data.java file, we are going to use a hash map which containing string of name and the string of password of that particular user. So when a new user has want to create a new account, we are going to add into our hash map with the help of the function add authenticate data. If we are going to, if the existing user is going to enter into our database, then we are, with the help of this authenticate method, we are going to verify whether the user has an account or password is correct or not. And after successful creating a new user or after logging of existing user, we have to go into the database level, because a user can contain multiple databases in that particular account. So now let us go into the database.java file. In this database.java file, we are going to store the hash map of containing the username and all the databases that particular user contains. So for that, we are going to initially we are going to initialize an empty hash map. So here we can see this hash map is containing string of that particular username and the linked list of various databases in which that particular user have. Later, with the help of the add database method, we are going to add the databases to that particular username value. So in this particular method, we are using this if option method, because when we are going to add the database for the new user, we initially have to add an empty linked list to that particular user. After adding the empty list only, we are going to add the databases value. So for that, we are going to use put if option method and having new linked list as a value. And in the same, and later we are going to have delete database method. If that particular database is exist in the user, we are going to delete. If it does not exist, then we are going to print the return statement of database does not exist. Later, get database names. With the help of this get database names method, we are going to get all the databases that that particular user account has in it. So it is going to print all the databases in it. And with the help of get selected database method, when the user want to select a particular database in his account and want to perform the further actions, we are going to use this method. With the help of this method, initially this method displays all the databases that are present in it, and among that particular database, the user is going to select the database based on this index. So these are the operations which are going to perform in the database level. After selecting a particular database, the user is going to perform the actions on the tables, because the database contains various tables. So now let us go into the tablelist.java file. With the help of the tablelist.java file, we can have the data structure for a hash map of having the database name and the various tables that particular database have in it as values. So here we can see this is the hash map. We are going to store all the data, and in the same way as we use in database level, we are going to initialize the table list of initially adding an empty linked list with the help of put if option method with the table list hash map. and later we are going to perform add tables method, delete tables method, get table names, and get selected table names of performing various operations on that particular table list. After selecting a particular table among the database, we are going to add the data in the table as cells. So for that, we have this table.java file. In this table.java file, we can add a particular value as cell that in our table. It is going to store as column name and the value in it as cell. So here we can see, here we have a hash map of containing a string of table name and internally another hash map for column name and the value in its cell. So here we can see, we can insert the data into the table with the help of this insert data method, and it takes the arguments of table name, column name and value. And later we have the remove data. With the help of this remove data, we can remove the data from the table, and later update data. With the help of this update data, we can update the data which are present in the table by taking string name, column name and values as the argument. And display data. With the help of this display data method, we are going to display all the data in the form of column name and that particular value present in it. So in this way, we are going to perform the operations on the tables. After all these operations, now let us all see how these classes are going to initialize in our main method. So this is our main method. In my main method, I'm initializing all the constructors which I have been used in my project. So here we can see, we are creating a new instance of user data class, database class, data list class and table data. So after creating an instance of that particular classes, and we are going to pass these classes as arguments to util methods dot handle user level. So in this util methods class, there exists some other methods which are helpful for us in organizing those insertion or hierarchy order of our database. So here we can see, if any error, we have also used the try catch. If any exception exists, we are going to handle them. So now let us go into the util methods dot java file. In this util methods dot java file, we have various methods for organizing our various methods in our database. And the first one is handle user level, because at the user level we are going to take the user inputs of username and password. We initially ask the user if he is a new user or existing user, or he want to exist from our database. And after taking the choice from the user, we are going to perform the later on operations. So here we can see, if the user selected new user, then we are going to ask username and password. And if it is already an existing user, with the help of isAuthenticator method, we are going to check whether the user name and password is correct or not. Next, after the user successfully entered into our database system, we are going to use handle database level. With the help of this method, we are going to handle the operations performed in database level. So it means this handle database level is having or performing the operations with the help of this database.java file. So here we can see, there exists here, these are the methods of handle new user, handle existing user in the user level, and for the handle database level, we are going to use this method for handling, for adding new databases or removing databases from the inputs that are taken from the user. So here we can see, and inside this handle database level, we are going to call the functions of database.java file. So here we can see, these are all the methods of database.java file. And after selecting the particular database, we are going to use this handle table level. So here you can see this is the code for handle table level. And at last, at table level, we are going to perform the operations on it for creating the table, adding data in it, or removing data in it, updating data in it. So these are all the various util methods with the help of which we can perform the various methods that are in their hierarchy. It means the before Java files contains the original code of interacting with the data structure of HashMap, but in these util methods we are going to organize those methods of how in each and every hierarchy we are going to implement them. Okay, so this is all of about our in-base database system. So thank you.